Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing an 8-4 Born of the Gods draft. We've opened Ephara, who is in fact a god, and one I've gotten a chance to play a little bit in Limited, and I like it. So we are going to first pick it, despite it being two colors right away. What else do I like in here? Well, you know how I feel about Fall of the Hammer. I love that card. Vortex Elemental, Siren of the Fanged Coast, both very satisfactory uncommons. Ashiok's Adept is playable. Actually, a lot of good cards in here. Shieldmate, Servant, Temper, Ardor, Chorus, Oathsworn, Fall, Adept, other two uncommons. A lot of good cards in here. A lot of playables. Gonna stick with the Ephara though. Ooh, Fated Retribution follow-up pick. You know, I'm not opposed to that. It's a pretty powerful card, actually. And it's early enough where I can sort of build around it. So let's see. Ephara into Fated Retribution tells me we are likely a control deck already. But Ephara certainly rewards you for devotion in general, so we don't have to be control. I mean, we can be more mid-range, but I think those lines start to blur when it comes to drafting. It's mid-range and control seemingly become the same thing in draft. But let's take the Fated Retribution because it's good. All right. Follow-up pick. Well, I think we're taking the Retraction Helix. I like that card in general. What else is good in here, though? We got Bolt of Keranos, Pinnacle of Rage, Sudden Storm, Servant. All good and fine. I'm going to go with the Helix. I like this card a lot. Very strong effect. Triggers your heroic as well as bounces creatures for you. Not much more you can ask for, I would think. Okay. Now we've got Triton, Pegasus, Skirmisher. Well, I think we're just going to go with the Triton. Bestow is good, and it feels like a card that's something we want to do more than Skirmisher. So there you go. Also Pillar of War, which is playable if it wheels. If we can be so lucky. How many picks are left in here? 12. 8 are going to be gone, or 7 more are going to be gone, so it's really the worst 5 cards in the pack. You know, that Pillar could definitely table. We'll see. Floodtide Serpent works pretty well with the Ephara. You get to bounce your Nyxborn and keep playing it and getting a creature every turn. There's also the Sudden Storm, though. Now, Sudden Storm, I do like. I think it works a lot better for the control decks, but it's certainly a better card than Floodtide Serpent, and also less likely to wheel, so we'll take it. I don't like it as much typically for the mid-range. I like it more for the aggressive-y, aggro-y stuff, but it's fine anywhere. Okay, so now we can do Ghostblade Eidolon as well as Shieldmate and Mortal's Ardor. I think we're just going to take the Eidolon. It's a good, Double Strike is good, and it's uncommon. It's a lot more expensive to bestow, admittedly, but we get some flyers and we're going to be in business. Guess we could also take the Chorus of the Tides, which is pretty solid, too. For some reason I like Ghostblade Eidolon quite a bit. This thing is, I don't know. Bestow in general I like. I do like Chorus of the Tides, too. I'm going to take the Ghostblade Eidolon just because there's more potential upside with it. And it's uncommon. And it's in one pack. You don't get to see much of it. Man, that's a late Fall of the Hammer. Well, here's a good reason to take Ghostblade Eidolon. Now we get Meletis Astronomer, who's a good blocker, as well as a good heroic target for our 2 Bestow guys. And Retraction Helix, even. Well, seems like an obvious pick. Okay, Astronomer number 2, Chorus, Skirmisher. Second Astronomer? That seems a bit unnecessary, doesn't it? I'd almost rather take the chorus since it actually flies. Double Astronomer for some reason strikes me as... Although, it does finds your gods. Tends to find your Afaras. I think regardless, I'm going to go with the Course of the Tides here. Rather have the flyer. Oh, we got another one, I guess, huh? Guess we could also take the Mortal's Ardor, which is a good spell. That lifelink is good. But then again, we could take the second. I mean, typically 4 drops, not that tough to get. I don't really like the Hypnotist much in general, especially not for this deck. I mean, it'd be fine to have if I needed it. I think we're actually going to take the Ardor over the second chorus just to diversify a little bit. I don't know. I like Mortal's Ardor quite a bit. Can be hard to expect, and it does a lot of work. We're going to cut the white, so we'll take the Hold at Bay, although I don't like it very much. Could take the Great Heart, but I think in this case I'm actually going to hate the Pinnacle of Rage because it could be quite bad for us. Did table the Pillar, so that makes me happy. We'll take that. Remember, this thing always blocks, which is nice. 3 mana, 3/3 blocker is good. This thing kills our god, so we'll hate that. And Karametra's Favor is actually kind of good. All right, so pretty good pack one. We got Mythic into Rare, both of which we are currently on track to playing. Sylvan Caryatid, that would be cool. I think that's not the pick, though. So we've got, I think it's just the Prescient Chimera. Get another flyer. Another good finisher. Really not too much we could table here that I'd be happy with. Snarecaster I'm certainly not thrilled with in a deck like this. But yeah, I'm just going to take the Prescient Chimera, get a good flyer. Follow-up pick. We've got Scholar, who's not good in this deck, unfortunately. Much better if we were black, then I'd be willing to splash for it. Mnemonic Wall currently hits Mortal's Ardor, Retraction Helix, Sudden Storm, Fated Retribution. I don't know. Second pick Mnemonic Wall seems so bad. I think we're probably going to go with the Chosen by Heliod. It gives us better blockers and draws us cards, and then we could probably wheel the Mnemonic Wall or the Gainsay. Could also take the Evangel, but we're not very deep white, which makes it seem not that good. You know? It is early enough, though. We could just take it. I mean, Evangel's certainly got the most upside for us out of this pack. Realistically. Chosen's not that exciting. Hits Astronomer to find us some more enchantments, which is fine, but nothing incredible. Mnemonic Wall, fine, nothing incredible. Evangel could be good as like a finisher if we ended up white enough, which remains to be seen. Okay. Well, pretty clear Wingsteed Rider. Doesn't matter whether you're control or aggro. Wingsteed Rider is good if you're in white. So we'll snatch that up and hopefully wheel an Annul or a Mnemonic Wall, I guess. Alright. Ooh, this is one of those tough packs, isn't it? We get the Divine Verdict and we get the Wave Crash Triton. That's tough. Very tough. Both of these cards are so perfectly in line with what we want. They're both exactly what we want. I think I'm feeling the Triton. It's tough. Very tough. But Triton, I think, is just a bit more versatile. Verdict is awesome. I'd love to have it. Triton is just a bit more versatile. All right. We've got Triton Fortune Hunter now, as well as God's Willing and Battle Priest. I do like God's Willing quite a bit. What am I currently trying to protect with God's Willing? I think the Fortune Hunter is a little more bonkers, out of control, not fair. That's how I've usually felt. I love Triton Fortune Hunter. Currently we have what? Helix, Mortal's Ardor, Eidolon, Triton, Sudden Storm, but not very likely to do that. I do like God's Willing a lot too. We're going to go with the Fortune Hunter. Hopefully get something else I can target them with. Alright, we could take the Philosopher, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. We could also take Annul. I think Annul, we're likely to wheel that one, so we could just take the Philosopher here and be okay. Possibly play it. Alright, Sealock Monster is a great finisher, so we'll take that. Evangel is looking less good. I guess we do have a Philosopher and a Wingsteed Rider and an Afara, but I would rather finish with Sealock Monster than a 6-mana 1/3 with 2 1/1s. Well, we got a Mnemonic Wall, which brings back enough stuff where I could probably take it. Otherwise, a Traveler's Amulet for splashes, which currently seem unnecessary. Alright, we'll take a Mnemonic Wall. The wall did not table out of here, surprisingly. Thassa's Bounty, not going to play it, and same with Lost in the Labyrinth. I think we just hate the Shredding Winds because we actually have flyers. Alright, we tabled the Chosen by Heliod. I'll take that over the second Mnemonic Wall. Did table the Annul. I'm going to take that over the second Mnemonic Wall too. Just diversify a little bit. Alright, Raptor's totally playable, but not very good in this deck because of Afara. I really want to be hitting that blue or white Devotion, but we'll take it. It's playable. Celebrants, do we have... I guess we have a couple artifacts, so I guess we can hate that. And yeah, Silent Artisan, prefer to not play it. I think we can hide the Artisan and likely hide the Evangel. Oh man, Ashiok. Let me see how much Ashiok's worth. Sadly, I might need to take her. She also happens to be broken good and limited too. You're selling for... she's worth too much. Gotta take her. Gotta take her. Otherwise, I would take Ordeal likely. Okay, well that's, I guess, pretty good news. I would like Ordeal for this deck, but I'm not, like, heartbroken that I missed out on it. Whereas Ashiok, you know, Ashiok could actually be worth the splash. Maybe if I table that Traveler's Amulet like we did last time, we're going to try and make Ashiok work on the splash. For sure, it's worth it. I really like this card in Limited. It does stupid things. It also gives us a Devotion for Afara. Keep that in mind as well. Okay. Dauntless Onslaught seems pretty good. Some people have talked about Gift of Immortality, but I mean, it's okay. Onslaught's way better and much less likely to wheel. Another God's Willing, which sucks because I don't want to go up against that, but may have no choice. I like the Prescient Chimera too, but yeah, Dauntless Onslaught it is. Okay, we've got another Fortune Hunter, but I think we're going to go Triton number 2, even over the Omen Speaker. Even though I love Omen Speaker, I think it's very good. Triton just is such a good card. So exactly what you want to do when you're trying to buy time. Alright, get a God's Willing now. Yeah, I'm not going to pass any more of these God's Willings. We're taking it, we're playing it. Let's cut the, let's finally cut this Evangel. I'm less impressed. And then for the God's Willing, why don't we cut... We can cut the Raptor, probably. I don't know if that's necessary. Alright, let's take the God's Willing. I guess we don't have to main deck Annul either, but I'm usually okay with it. Alright, we'll take a second Prescient Chimera here. I'm cool with that as well. And we'll likely just cut the Annul. It's better sideboard material. How many things do we have to target Pillar of War with? Enchant with, I mean. Chosen, Ghostblade, Triton. All right. Well, if Pillar's just a 3/3 blocker, we might be able to do better than that. That probably is unnecessary. We can play the Opaline Unicorn. I think we do as well, since it actually turns on our Ashiok, which I'm still feeling pretty good about splashing, to tell you the truth. I don't really have any problems with that. Let's cut the Annul. Let's bring in the Unicorn. A lot of 3-drops, but it's okay. Well, there's a Shipwreck Singer, but I think we're just going to stick to the Ashiok splash only. We're going to pick up a Philosopher here, just in case I need more early stuff. I'd like to have it. Breaching Hippocamp. Untapped stuff. We don't have any Inspired. Stymied Hope's not much of a card I like. I think I'm just going to hate the Lampad. We're not going to play the Breaching Hippocamp. We've already got close to a made deck here already. In fact, I have to make a cut. I have to figure that out still. One of our Philosophers is currently the cut. Alright, so let's just hate the Lampad because Intimidate actually gets past us. Alright, we'll take the Amulet here. It's going to help us. And we're going to play it too. God. Scholar's still not good on the splash when you don't have any black. I don't need any of this. Scholar is presumably the most annoying to go up against, so I'm going to hate that just for the chance. Plus, I guess we can actually sideboard into it as a 1/4 blocker, as unnecessary as that seems. I don't really like the Unknown Shores just for the Ashiok, I don't think. I think between an Amulet and a Unicorn, we're good on Ashiok. So let's take maybe Viper's Kiss or something. Take a second Annul just in case. Take the Shredding Winds. Sure. Okay. So we got a pretty good looking deck, actually. We were close to a made deck after Pack 2, which is always a good place to be. And I think our only real shortcoming is in the removal department, but it's not like an emergency situation or anything. It's just a wee bit light for a control-ish deck. Everything else looks pretty spot on spectacular. This is 24. I would prefer to not play 16 lands in a deck like this, even with the Amulet. I think it's kind of a priority to make sure that we're hitting our lands. These guys are like bestows most of the time. This thing's 7 mana. This thing's not a creature most of the time. That's a spell. Okay. So how many ways to target our heroic guys? We have Helix, Ardor, God's Willing, Chosen, Dauntless, technically Sudden Storm, Nyxborn, Triton, Eidolon. That's enough. This deck's cool. I like it. It's a lot of 5-drops. If you include the Triton, which I guess we shouldn't necessarily since it's pretty versatile. I'm trying to think what I want to cut. I don't really want to cut the Philosopher because it's a good Chosen by Heliod target in a pinch. But, I mean, it's certainly not amazing. I just don't want to get destroyed by control, really. And I like that Philosopher can trade. But I could see the argument for getting rid of it. Main deck, at least. It also uses Retraction Helix fairly well. I don't know. It does look pretty convenient cutting that Philosopher, I'll tell you that. Be very convenient for me to cut it. Looking a bit clunky, but probably fine. Not really missing out on anything. Yeah, I think I'm going to run it like this. Let me look at my curve again. Sort of. This is fine. This is a good looking deck. I think it's pretty good. Okay. Well, I'm satisfied. What's our color situation look like? We only need one swamp, so we can play our Ashiok. We've got the Amulet and the Unicorn, and with the swamp, that's 3. That's good. We need triple white for Retribution. So what are they saying? No on that. 9-7? 9-7 sounds good. Okay. I like it. Pretty good looking deck. Pretty big bomby stuff in here. Good heroic. Good ways to trigger heroic. Yeah, this deck could go far. Let's see how we draw. I'll see you round 1.